see what we can do. Let's put our hearts together. Let's put our minds together. Let's bring this world together. See what we can do. Let's put our hearts together. Let's put our minds together. Let's bring this world together. See what we can do. Let's put our hearts together. Let's put our minds together. Let's bring this world together. See what we can do. Let's put our hearts together. Let's put our minds together. Let's bring this world together. See what we can do. Let's put our minds together. Let's bring this world together. See what we can do. See what we can do. Let's see what we can do.
Barry, Ebert, and our Mile High band, so grateful for them, so grateful for you. Welcome to Mile High Church, and thank you for being a part of creating this sanctuary and consciousness that celebrates oneness, divinity, and liberty for all. Today is what we like to call our graduation Sunday. It's something we do every year to honor our high school graduates this year, 2020, and we wanted to really take some time to emphatically celebrate them today with the coronavirus. Of course, they didn't get to have an in-person graduation, so we're celebrating them virtually here, and we are just holding all of our Mile High children in our hearts and uplifting them today. We'd like to read our vision and mission statement today. We haven't done it in a while, and if you're at home and you're used to the drill, say it along with me. Our vision: oneness revealed, a world of love, peace, and abundance for all. And our mission: to serve as a spiritual beacon for personal empowerment and global enlightenment. Isn't it wonderful to have a vision and mission that is always the same and yet always evolving based upon how we view the world around us? And we may ask ourselves, how do we preach oneness and we're all the same and yet be able to recognize division or inequity in our society? And I love something that Ernest Holmes said in his Declaration of Principles almost 100 years ago. He said, "I believe that the ultimate goal of life is to be a complete emancipation from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all." It speaks to me of that recognition that oneness always is, our divine equality always is, and yet each of us is called as individuals to do the work of oneness in our own consciousness, to make sure in our families, in our workplaces, in our societies, that each of us is answering that call, to make sure that we are that spiritual beacon that is inclusive, that uplifts and helps all of us live in the full liberty that is the divine birthright of every soul and every human being. We're so blessed today to have two dynamite messages from two of our most beloved Mile Highers. Barry Ebert and Patty Luckenbach are sharing with us today. We have some great music with the special guests, Bradley Hall, and we're so glad that you're here with us. And so let's move into that prayerful space where we remember our unity and we bless and uplift the whole world with that knowing.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence God is in this place. Surely the presence of God place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
And in this sacred consciousness is this opportunity to acknowledge the infinite depth, the glorious grace that I call God, Spirit, so infinite in its unity and oneness that it cannot help but express itself in incredible uniqueness. In every face, in every color, in every place, in every age, in every ideology that strives towards freedom, peace, love, and oneness. The divine did not just create this world, but it is inherent in every cell, every aspect of its being. And an awareness of this divine oneness, we apply it with courageous consciousness to everything that we see. For wherever we may not see unity or wholeness, it does not mean it is not inherently there. It means that it exists in each of us as a divine seed, a divine potential being called forth through our own vision, our own consciousness. And so we take that consciousness today to bless ourselves and everyone in this blessed spaceship of Mother Earth. We bless our children. We bless our elders. We bless all of those who are on the path of healing and awakening. We bless all of our leaders, the President of the United States, every governor, every mayor, every civic leader, knowing that within them is that ability to remember peace, love, unity, liberty, and freedom. We bless all of our first responders, our police officers, all of those who take that oath to protect and serve and uplift, to make sure the environments for freedom are created all around us. We bless all of the citizens of this country and citizens of this world, especially those who may be protesting or speaking up from that deep knowledge within them that we are to be one. For all of those who protest in the spirit of peace, we bless them, we uplift them, we share in their wound, and we share as a responsible part of the healing, upliftment, the ever advancement of love, peace, freedom, and liberty. For I know when I say those words, I'm not just talking about qualities. I am talking about the name of divinity herself. For God is love. God is peace. God is liberty. God is freedom. Embodying these qualities today, may each of us make that commitment to apply them to our lives, to our loved ones, to our country, and to this incredible world, this precious diamond in a sea of stars. It exists all around us, but just as much within us. So with divine promise, we allow it to be and become. And so it is.
I'm held in love, I'm held in peace. God is holding me. With every breath, with every step, God is holding me. I'm held I'm held in peace. God is holding me. With every breath, with every step, God is holding me. 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 I'm held in love. I'm held in peace. God is holding me. With every breath, with every step, God is holding me. God is holding me. Yes, God is holding me.
So we are celebrating all 2020 graduates today, and if you are graduating this year, congratulations to you. And each year, Mile High Church awards scholarship to some of our graduating seniors. This is because of your generosity and the particular generosity of some incredibly loving Mile Highers. And Michelle Scavetta, our assistant minister and teen group leader, interviewed some of these recipients, and we wanted you to hear from them now.
So good morning, Keela. Thanks for joining me today. I'm excited to announce that you've been awarded the Sacred Sisters Scholarship. This scholarship is awarded by Sacred Sisters, which is Mile High Church's women's empowerment groups, that acknowledges one female graduate each year that has been immersed in the study and practice of science and mind. How long have you been attending Mile High Church?
I've been going to Mile High Church since as long as I can remember. I think I was about 4, so about 14 years. No.
Awesome. And what's one of the tools or gifts that you received at Mile High that you'll be taking with you?
The biggest gift I would say is that I can be myself. I don't need to change for someone else, and at the same time, I don't need anyone else to change for me.
Awesome. And what's one of the gifts that you bring to the world?
I think biggest gift, I would say I'm very curious. I want to find out about everything. I want to know why and the facts about everything. And that's part of the reason why I want to study engineering. I want to know how everything works. And so, yeah, it's curious.
So good morning, Molly. Thanks for being here this morning.
Hi, Michelle. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So I'm so excited to acknowledge that you've received the H. Fred Vogt Scholarship. And this scholarship is named after Mile High Church's Minister Emeritus in Memoriam. And it acknowledges a graduate that has made a significant contribution to the Mile High Church community. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And how long have you been attending Mile High Church?
I have gone to Mile High Church literally my entire life. My mom has been a member for 20 years now, so longer than I've been alive.
Awesome. And what's one of the gifts or tools that you received at Mile High that you'll be taking with you?
I think a really big thing that going to Mile High has taught me is how to handle adversity and people with really strongly different opinions from mine, and handle those people with love and go into everything that I do, every challenge that I face with love for other people and love for what I'm doing. And somehow that makes everything work much smoother. So
great. And what's one of the gifts that you bring to the world?
I would say one of the gifts I bring to the world is hopefully my curiosity. I love asking questions. I love learning new things. And so I hope that one day my curiosity will lead me to help discover something that can help others.
So good morning, Lindsay. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
So I'm so excited to award you the Memory Purser Scholarship. And this scholarship is named after one of the brightest lights in the Mile High Teen Ministry. And it's awarded to one of the lights that graduates each year who exemplifies the spirit of leadership and passion for the Mile High Teen Ministry. And so how long have you been attending Mile High Church?
I have been attending Mile High Church since I was an infant, and I've been attending my whole life.
That's awesome. And so one of the gifts or tools that you received at Mile High that you'll be taking to school with you?
I think one of the greatest gifts that I've received from Mile High is the knowingness that we're all one and we're all connected. I think it's really easy sometimes to feel divided or separated, but through the teachings and through the team ministry, I've learned that we are one. And with this knowing that we're all in this together, we can accomplish so much.
That's amazing. And so what's one of the gifts that you bring to the world?
I think one of the greatest gifts I bring to the world is my kindness, because even though I am not a very outgoing person, I try to connect to whoever I meet and be as kind as I can. And I also try to be kind to myself as well.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much and congratulations again.
Thank you.
Out of the ruins and rubble, out of the smoke, out of our night of struggle, can we see a ray of hope? One pale thin ray reaching for the day we can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city. Not a city of angels, but we can build a city of men. But we can start slowly but truly mending, brick by brick, heart by heart. Now, maybe now we start learning how we can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city. Not a city of angels, but we can build a city of men. And when your trust is all but shattered, and when your faith is all but killed, you can give up bitter and battered, or you can slowly start to build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city, not a city of angels, but finally a city of men. A city of men. Bradley Hall, thank you very much. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful song for today. And
That was awesome.
yeah, so thankful to
Hey,
have you
Barry,
here. Yeah.
Can I say one little thing about Bradley
All right,
here?
we got we got time for one little thing. I guess.
This little thing is gratitude first for you being here, Bradley. But then also, I just wanted to let you know that we are pleased to be able to award you a music ministry scholarship. Bradley has been accepted at UNC. He's been accepted at UNC. It's a strange time, so who knows if they're going to be starting up in the fall. But he's been accepted, and he's obviously a great talent. So I just wanted to say congratulations.
Thank you so much. That's cool, and you don't get the cash unless you actually go. But that's a different issue. So glad to be here this morning. First of all, I want to thank everybody who's been so supportive of Mile High Church during this time. We appreciate so much your gifts to keep us going. We're going strong, and thank you for being a part of that. There's information up on the screen. If you can join us today in giving, we would appreciate that so much. So thank you. Thank you for being a part of that. And, I'm going to be speaking today. It was just about a month ago that I spoke up here on a Wednesday night, and I was talking about going beyond our tribes, about going beyond our tribal divisions of race and ethnicity and economics, and that we can reach beyond our tribes and build something together. And so much has happened in that 1 month. So much has happened. And so today I wanted to talk a little bit about moving our way through this time. It's a time of uncertainty. It's a time of change. We seem to be in what looks like a wilderness of uncertainty and chaos and upheaval. So how do we find our way through it? And one thing that's always meant a lot to me is the compass, the metaphor of the compass, the symbolism of the compass. I worked as a surveyor for many years before I found my ministry here at Mile High Church, and so that's why I love the compass, because I love its simplicity and the way that we can find our way if we know how to use a compass. And no matter how lost we might seem, we can find a bearing and we can find our way through. So I've used this symbology a lot in my songs, and also something that we taught to our children here at Mile High Church too, to how to build a compass and how to find out where true north is and how to find true north within ourselves. Dr. Patty used to talk about us jumping to center when we're in Rainbow Day Camp, and that's part of what the compass is, to find true center within ourselves. And so, I want to talk about that today. And how do we find our internal compass? How do we align ourselves with it in this time that seems so chaotic and so uncertain? And so the first thing I wanted to talk about this morning was checking our sources. We've got to be clear about what sources we're listening to, and there is so much information out there now, so many sources. And it's not always the loudest or the most prominent voice that we should be listening to. And so I think we need to be aware of all the information that's coming at us, of a 24-hour news cycle, of pundits from both sides of the political spectrum, of news from both sides of the political spectrum, social media. That might not be the best place to get your information. There's a lot of voices on there. So how do we align with a deeper source of information, with a deeper truth that lives within us? And I think checking our sources is a way to keep ourselves clear. That's what's so important about our spiritual practice, about checking our sources and tapping into what's within us. This week I started teaching a Bible workshop on Friday morning. It's a thing called New Eyes on the Bible. Been teaching this for a long time, and I just love it. I love it, and I love getting people together on Friday morning, and I miss the snacks, but the rest of it is pretty good. And one of the things we talked about this week was one of the most beloved Bible verses that there is, which is the 23rd Psalm, which was probably written by David about 1000 BC. David was a musician. He was also a shepherd, and he was the one with the slingshot with Goliath, and father of Solomon. He had quite a journey through life, David. And the thing that he wrote in the 23rd Psalm was, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Make me lie down in green pastures leads me by the still waters. This was a metaphor for him that was so important, to have a shepherd, because he'd been a shepherd, to have that guidance system within him. And that guidance system lives in all of us. And so I invite you this morning to think about that guidance system. The Lord is my shepherd. You know, when we think about that, we talked about it in our class on Friday. Wanted everybody to drop back into this because it's something that we've heard as a source of comfort through the years, through the generations, for thousands of years now. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. What does it bring to your mind this morning? That there is a guidance system. You know, David called it the Lord. Jesus called it the Father within. Emerson called it the oversoul. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, called it the thing itself. I'm calling it our internal compass. Whatever you might call it, you know that there's something within you that knows. Your intellect. Beyond that, beyond what we've seen in the world, beyond what we've learned in the world, there is something deeper in us that knows. And we want to be connected with that. And we want to use that as a source for the way to go. How do we find our way? There is a part of us that knows, beyond the beliefs that we've been handed from the people we grew up with, beyond the beliefs of religion and society. There is a part of us that knows the right way to go. And so I invite us this morning to tap into that and to check our sources as we move forward through this chaotic time, to check our sources. And the next thing I wanted to talk about was about embracing this change, embracing this time of change that we're in right now. You know, when I'm in a position like this, and I'm going to be coming in and talking on a Sunday in a time like this, I've got to check sources too. What am I going to tap into to help guide me to what to say? So a place I like to go is to the I Ching. It's an oracle writing from probably 900 BC. So it's an old writing, and so this week I through the coins of the I Ching to see what would come up for me when I asked the question about what is my internal compass? What is it? And this is what I got. The independence of the superior person is not based on rigidity and immobility of character. They always keep abreast of the times and change with them. What endures is the unswerving directive, the inner law of being, which determines all actions. I love that phrase, the inner law of being, which determines all actions. That's what's important to us to tap into in this time, the inner law of our being, which determines all actions. In this time that we're in, which can seem so uncertain, when there are so many voices, there's a part of us that knows the inner law of our being. It's been that way forever. Humanity has tapped into this wisdom that is inherent in us, that is alive in all of us. And as we're here this morning, the killing of George Floyd has opened a wound in our culture that has been here for 400 years. And we can't turn away from it now. We're looking at it. It's important that we look at it. It's important that we look at that wound and that we're all a part of healing it. This is about all of us. You know, I've had the opportunity this week to talk to our son a lot. Our youngest son lives in New York City. He's been a part of these demonstrations. He's been out with his girlfriend. They've been marching in the street. They did the march across the Brooklyn Bridge the other day, following George Floyd's family. And he's been talking about what the energy is like in the street. The energy is like with the demonstrators. What's really going on out there? And he said it is so peaceful, so respectful, the way that people are talking to each other. You don't see that picture on the news a lot, but he said he's been so inspired to be out there, to be a part of these talks, and to meet people out on the street, and to see the unity of the races coming together. You know, he lives in Brooklyn. That's where his apartment is, and he's been to a lot of demonstrations in Brooklyn. He said there might be, 50 to 80% white people there, and he said the speakers who are there, the black speakers who are there, say thank you for being with us. All of us are a part of this. All of us are a part of this change, and we need to work on this together. I think that feeling of unity, that feeling of peaceful demonstration, which we are moving towards, and there's always that chaos in the beginning when a wound is ripped open, and we've seen that chaos too, but we are moving towards peaceful change. What a gift for me as an old hippie to be talking to my son about peaceful change in the street. It's just incredible. And it's happening. It's happening right now. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, in one of his last talks, he talked about what our place is in the world, what we're here to do. And he talked about spiritual evolution. We are a part of spiritual evolution still. He said, we are a part of the evolution of human destiny. We are a part of the divine intelligence in human affairs. That's why we're here. That's what our work is. That divine intelligence, God, the shepherd, whatever you call it, is evolving our culture through us. We're the ones who have this opportunity right now at this time to not look away, but to continue to move forward. A few years ago, one of our great ministers, Michael Beckwith, was here. I remember him speaking in this auditorium right here, and he said something that has always stuck with me. He said, we want to change the world. We want to save the world. So many people in this room today want to save the world. And he said, we are not here to save the world, but to serve an emerging paradigm of love, connectedness, and generosity of heart. That's what we're here to do. We're here to be a part of the evolution of this culture, of this society, of this planet. That's why we're here, to serve that emerging paradigm of wholeness and oneness. And the last thing I wanted to talk about is staying true to your course. It was about 20 years ago, maybe a little over 20 years ago. Our own Dr. Roger Teal, Dr. Michael Beckwith, some other ministers got together and they started something called the Association for Global New Thought. And one of the first things that they came up with was an education program called the Season for Nonviolence that would be honored between the dates of January 30th and April 4th, the assassination dates of Martin Luther King and Mahatma Gandhi. And there would be a time when we talked about nonviolence, when we taught it, when we worked with our kids. It's a part of our DNA in Mile High Church, the teachings of Gandhi and King. So we are staying true to that now. We invite you to be with us to stay true to this. This week our ministers got on the phone, all of us got onto a Zoom call and just talked about what do we do now? How do we go forward from here? We don't have the answers, but we are committed to going forward with here and staying true to that DNA of nonviolence of Gandhi and King. We hope that you will join with us. We hope that you will continue to stay with us as we move through this time, to keep communicating, to keep learning, to keep growing. One of the other people that came here during the Season for Nonviolence, one of the other founders, was a man named Arun Gandhi, who was the grandson of Mahatma Gandhi. And he was just one of those guys that when he walked in the room, you could feel the vibration going up. He was a great man who believed in the power of nonviolence. And he called nonviolent change the greatest weapon that we have against racial injustice, against social injustice. And the first time he came here to speak, Dr. Kent asked me to write a song to open the program that evening, something that we could play together that would honor the teachings of Gandhi and King. And it's been a part of our culture, this song and this idea that has kind of led us through this wilderness of change. And it's something that I want to close with here today. It's called On the High Road. And it's about Martin Luther King, Gandhi, and all the people who have taken the high road through these times of chaos and change and stayed true to the principles of nonviolence. And on the high road, you can feel their power. And on the high road, we are not alone. The compass lies within our hearts to mark our traverse through the dark. The circumstances change, but love is still the same on the high road. So I invite you this morning to stay with us, to stay on the high road, to speak kindly to people who might think exactly opposite of you, to stay in this, to bring your consciousness. Often we think that what we do is only a drop in a bucket. Know today that we are filling the bucket with our drops. We are stronger together. So right now what we're going to do is celebrate some of our other graduates at this beautiful time. And I'm so proud of the kids that grow up here and the way that they go out into the world and the change they're going to make in the world.
Light that glows by the front porch. Don't forget the keys under the mat. Childhood shall shine. Always stay humble and kind. Go to church 'cause your mama says so. Visit grandpa every chance that you can. It won't be wasted time. Always stay humble and kind. Hold the door, say please, say thank you. Don't steal and don't cheat, don't lie. I know you've got mountains to climb, but always stay humble and kind. When those dreams you're dreaming come to you, when the work you put in is realized, it won't be wasted time. Always stay humble and kind. Don't expect a free ride from no one. Don't hold a grudge or a chip, and here's why. Bitterness keeps you from flying. Always stay humble and kind. Know the difference between sleeping with someone and sleeping with someone you love. I love you ain't no pickup line. Always stay humble and kind. Hold the door, say please, say thank you. Don't steal and don't cheat and don't lie. I know you've got mountains to climb. Always stay humble and kind. When those dreams you're dreaming come to you, when the work you put in is realized, let yourself feel the pride, but always stay humble and kind.
root beer popsicle. Shut off the AC and roll the windows down. Let that summer sunshine always stay humble and kind. And don't take for granted the love this life gives you. When you get where you're going, don't forget, turn back around and help the next one in line. Always stay humble and kind.
I want to thank Tom for his beautiful songs, and also Bradley and that amazing message from Dr. Barry. And my title is Raising Above Normalcy. And what in the world is normal anymore? A lot of people have asked me. As Barry talked about, you know, we're living in such an incredible time, a time of such changes that are taking place, such struggles, and also such incredible times of kindness and humbleness. We don't want to leave that out in our struggles, because perhaps it's a struggle coming back to what is normal. What is normal? I sense that normal is a new way. That's what I want to speak about, a new way of opening and remembering the true meaning of who we are as loving beings. It was interesting knowing that we're living in such changing times. I found this. It said, it was from notice from the Association of Psychiatrists. It said, "Dear citizen, during the pandemic, it is considered normal to talk to your plants and pets, but kindly contact us only if they reply." And you know what? I understand that Dr. Barry has a talking dog. So what is normal anyway? You know, it's defined by conforming to a standard. What is expected, our wants, our expectations, our routines, our traditions. And a lot of that has been pushed aside, and here we stand. And we stand raising above the conditions and raising above the effects. Indeed, there is a call for change. And it brought to mind the Chinese symbol, two symbols. One symbol referring to crisis, because so many people say we're in a crisis. Indeed. But the Chinese symbol, one of the characters represents danger, and the other symbol, referring to the word crisis, represents tipping point. We are at a tipping point. We are at a turning point in our creation of who we are. And it's asking us to be radically, very, very flexible. So Barry mentioned chaos. So we have crisis and we have chaos. And the root word of chaos refers to a formless state of matter or crossing a chasm in life. And I know the cycles of creation continue, and those cycles of creation, of change, are asking us to change the inside to bring it to the outside. Or, as good religious scientists, to recognize the inside. It's not just a theory. What is the inside? Inside is that light of the divine, is that love that has always been present. Dr. Ernest Holmes said this. He wrote, "Peace is brought about through a conscious unity of the personal man with the inner principle of his life, that underlying current flowing from a divine center, pressing ever outward into expression." So it's about consciousness. It's about being awake. And I want to speak a little bit about consciousness. It's interesting. Barry spoke about a divine law. I refer to it as a cosmic law. And that all of life responds to a cosmic law. We as human beings also do. But when I think about the allness of life, I think about the plants, about the animals, about the trees, They respond to a cosmic law. And we as human beings, we have an agenda. And we call it consciousness. We're awake. Sometimes fast asleep, but we are awake. But that agenda many times brings to us a perception. We have different perceptions of different groups, different perceptions of ourselves. And I too am going to quote Dr. Michael Beckwith when he said, "The world is held together by opinion, beliefs, experience, and it comes together as agreement. It comes together as structure." And we all have a different perception. So with that different perception, so many times, don't we, judge? We judge ourselves. We judge others. And many times we use the word conscious, like I'm so spiritually conscious. But we turn around and we're judging ourselves, or we're judging another person. And we become angry. There's been a lot of anger out in the world. There's a lot of anger out there in this moment. Anger has been defined as wanting or not wanting something. What is it that we want? What is it that we know that lives within us? So when we blame and when we hold to shame and we stay in anger, we push away the pains of growth. And I'm sensing that we are in the pains of growth. We're growing into a new normalcy. So it is a time for us to listen, and to listen from that place of heart, and to learn from the chaos, to be able to move forward. And it's interesting because when we look at our perceptions, our mental perceptions, and our emotional perceptions of things, it's like an ego block. And the ego, the mental concepts of who we think we are or someone else is, can block our spiritual growth. And I want to read this. It says, ego love. Every enemy is a symbol of our own loveless state. The absence of love gets filled by experiences of separation in the form of conflict, waning emotions. By returning to a state of love, we rob separation of a place to live. So I feel it's very imperative that we build a bridge over that chasm. And that we realize that we are not our histories, but we move back into that place of pure creation. Things have been hidden, and they can't be hidden anymore. So it's about transparency. To be transparent, to be able to see ourselves and to see others, and to be able to trust. So I ask us today, what are we really, really interested in on this spiritual walk? Are we interested giving all our attention to hate, to fear? Or are we cherishing and giving our attention to love itself? So I want to leave you with just 3 tools. The first one, for us to give up unhealthy beliefs about ourselves, to give those up. Because when we complain, we make ourselves into victims. 2, to give up unhealthy beliefs of others. Don't give your power away. 3, give up unhealthy beliefs about the world. Pray for peace and a greater level of honoring and respect. Excuse me. So we must clarify the future with love. When I speak about the human being and all of nature, we all drink milk. And what I mean by that, we all drink water. Water sustains us. Our breath sustains us. And so let us love our neighbor as we love ourselves. Let our love be touchable. Being with our brothers and our sisters. I don't care if their face is black, it's red, it's brown, it's yellow, or it's white. We have all come from the very center of creation itself, that God life. So perhaps our job description for all humans is to live from our God-given creation, our God-given center, and to realize there's one thing that never changes. It's changeless, and that is that living spirit. And that's where we all have come from, and that's where we're all going, and that's where we are in this very moment. So the job description for all humans is to live from our God-given center, to tell a new creation story about how humanity was lifted by love. And I want to close by reading a beautiful poem that I found on Facebook. It was written by Leslie Dwight. What if 2020 isn't canceled? What if 2020 is a year we've been waiting for? A year so uncomfortable, so painful, so scary, so raw, that it finally forces us to grow. A year that screams so loud, finally awakening us from our ignorant slumber. A year we finally accept the need for change. We declare change. We work for change. We become the change. A year we finally band together instead of pushing each other further apart. 2020 isn't canceled, but rather the most important year of them all. So I ask that you just be with me in prayer in this moment, just recognizing that holy, sacred center. That holy, sacred center that is the God spot. That point of grace within all beings, from the tiniest creatures to each one of us as human beings. And that we now open to that omni-action, omni being one, that one action, that action of respect, renewal, and we remember. We remember what is really real. And what is the meaning of what seems to be is what is real and what is lasting. So I give thanks in this moment with a heart filled with incredible gratitude for all beings, for all who pray, all who sing, all who shout, even those that buzz and hum, all creatures everywhere, for we are all related. And so just resting in the divine right now. We stand rested and remembered, and we step forward in the light of love. And I declare this into being, and so it is. Amen.
Back when you lived with the angels, before you tried your body on, there was light all around you, and you knew you were part of the one. But your soul was still restless for action, with little Bert left to do. You looked down on your mother and dad, and you said, I'll take those two. And then the magic that happens that we can't explain brought you to this place and time.
with a purpose even you can't remember till it pulls you in line. The angels just whisper one message to you, and the day they bring you here to this star, always remember what a beautiful child you are. You brought everything with you, everything you needed to know, like the acorns already in oak, looking for a place to grow. You found that it's not always easy pushing your way towards the light, but it's all here to make you grow stronger, give you insight. You made the choice to be here right now. It's your perfect moment in time. So when the world starts to look dark and strange, keep that in mind. Most of us forget where we came from, but home's not really all that far. So always remember what a beautiful child you are. Always remember what a beautiful child you are. Now that you're ready to blossom, stand on your own in the world. Build on your strengths and be joyful. Keep your flag unfurled. Travel wherever you're guided, but remember where your roots grow deep. And look for the best in the hearts of the people you meet. And you won't know your final destination, but choose a direction with heart. Sometimes the only solution is to get up and start. As immortal right now as you'll ever be, underneath this blanket of stars, always remember what a beautiful child you are. Always remember what a beautiful child you are. Always remember what a beautiful child you are.
This is our time of offertory in our service, and I bless each one of you that are viewing, and I give thanks. This entire community gives thanks for you. And I recognize that the source is infinite and the supply is eternal. So I give thanks, and on our screens you can receive the text message, how you can text a gift, or you can mail one in, or you can tune into our website. And thank you so much for your generosity. It's so appreciated. So join with me in affirming. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. And so it is.
If this life is one act, why do we lay all these traps? We put them right in our path when we just wanna be free. I will not waste my days making up all kind of ways to worry about all the things that will not happen to me. So I just let go of what I know I don't know, and I know living in the moment, living my life, easy and breezy, with peace in my mind, peace in my heart, peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. I'm living in the moment. I'm letting myself off the hook for things I've done. I let my past go past, and now I'm having more fun. I'm letting go of the thoughts that do not make me strong, and I believe this way can be the same for everyone. And if I fall asleep, I know you'll be the one who'll always remind me to live in the moment, to live my life, easy and breezy, with peace in my mind, peace in my heart, peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. I can't walk through life facing backwards. I have tried more than once to just make sure, but I was denied the future I've been searching for. So I spun around and it hurt no more. I'm living in the moment, I'm living my life, easy and breezy, with peace in my mind, peace in my heart, peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. Living in the moment, off the live my life. Done, I let my past go past, and now I'm having more fun. Peace in my heart, thoughts that peace might make me strong, and I believe this way can be the same for everyone. Living in the moment.
Bradley Hall, so grateful to have him with us here today. So grateful for Tom, for Bijou, for Rob, for Kent, for Mike. Tom Litch, thank you for all of your commitment as music director to provide us such good tunes and heart through these last few months. So grateful for Dr. Barry and Dr. Patty, not only for their yes to the call to ministry, but to giving so much of their lives and time to Mile High Church. It was Barry's birthday yesterday. You know what he was doing? He was writing that talk for us, Dr. Patty, and all of our practitioners, all the incredible work that they do to uplift us, especially at our most challenging times. Just so grateful for both of you and all the love that you give to us, and for tolerating me, which is great. Hey, if you could use some prayer today, our Zoom rooms are open. Find the website or go to our prayer page and connect with a practitioner that way. It is not too late to bring your new eyes to the Bible. Friday mornings, you can sign up online with that with our own Dr. Barry. Week 2 is this upcoming Friday. And this Wednesday, our own Reverend Chris Plim is giving the message. I'm looking forward to being here too. So with that, may we rise to that new place of normalcy in our heart, affirming well-being, love, courage, and compassion in all that we do. And so it is.
God as our power, song.